Deep Rock Galactic is a 1 to 4 player co-op FPS featuring badass space dwarves, 100% destructible environments, procedurally generated caves, and endless hordes of alien monsters. This game came out on May 13, 2020, and to call it underrated would be a bloody understatement. I mean, zipping around wall to wall as Scout is a feeling like no other. Having hordes upon hordes of enemies fly at you and making every shot count to conserve ammo makes each mission you play even more intense, especially at higher levels of difficulties, and believe me, it can get difficult. There's 2. 3, one more. 4. Okay. As soon as you open the game, you'll have to make a decision. A decision that will impact how you experience the rest of the game in its entirety. A decision that will determine how other people will actually look at you. And that's the characters, of course. There are 4 characters that you can switch between at any time between missions, each with their own weapons and abilities you can upgrade and fully customize. Or, more accurately, 3 supports and 1 very clear choice. But hold on, before I get into all that, I actually want to say if you want to watch me play this game and others live, check out my Twitch, link below. Listen! You see now, every character has 7 upgradable items, a primary, secondary, pickaxe, armor, a grenade, and 2 support items. I know it sounds like a lot, but just take my hand and I'll walk you through it. The gunner is equipped with a main gun, the minigun, and revolver, the bulldog. I will say the ability to mow down waves upon waves of enemies is quite satisfying. He is also equipped with a shield gen to defend you and your team, and a spike grenade to cling on the enemies.
Oh shit, here we go again.
The gunner, to balance out his massive DPS output, is slow. So very slow. So they gave him a zipline to help. But it hurts my soul to constantly be stuck in enemies, even with the shield gen and zipline to help. They just slowly wear you down. But if I'm being 100% fair, I do play this game mostly solo, so what I need from a character might be different than when you're playing in an actual team. Next is this guy, the driller. Driller. As his name implies, his whole thing is his drilling arms, allowing you to quickly get through walls. But side note, he can't actually mine ore with them, only the environment around you. But honestly, that's all irrelevant because he has a bloody flamethrower. Burn! Sorry, I got a little passionate there. Where even was I? Intro, self-promo, gunner. Yeah, driller. Besides his lovely flamethrower, he has a normal pistol, nothing really special about it, just bam, bullet, skull, dead. Easy enough, but if you want to feel like a real man, you have the impact axe. A nice axe you can throw and absolutely Kobe into some bug skulls. One very nice perk about the impact axe that if you do miss, you can just go over and retrieve it, but depending on the difficulty, that might not always be an option. Last, but certainly not least, he has a satchel charge. You can take it, put it on the ground, and just wait for any unfortunate soul to actually just go and walk on it. 8 out of 10, would bomb again. Now, finally I get to talk about this guy. Shh, we gotta save the best for last. Now, Engineer does not have the best mobility, but what he does have is a Warthog shotgun as the primary, grenade launcher as the secondary, a turret gun he can just put down everywhere, and a platform launcher so you can literally create ground. So yeah, it balances out. The Warthog shotgun is quite fun to use, honestly. You do have to be close to use it, but man, it packs a punch. The grenade launcher is, well, a grenade launcher. I don't need to tell you how fun it is to see bugs go boom, but I can show you. The turret you place and build has 90 shots. After that, you do have to reload it. And the platform launcher is really useful to create, well, platforms up and create little stairs up. Then the grenade. It's a literal lure. He pops out this little guy and he starts doing a little jig. It's here because Engineer has no way of dealing with enemies from long range, and it helps so you don't get overrun. Now, the moment I've been waiting for. My personal favorite character and idol, the Scout, baby. He is just so much fun. I am not sorry for my very clear and blatant bias, but look, he has an assault rifle for long range, a short barrel shotgun for short range. You can create or close distance with the grapple gun, which is what makes the Scout. Listen, it doesn't matter how deep a doo-doo you might be in, being in control of the battle, based solely on the fact you can move 30 meters in a near instant is so broken. It doesn't matter how strong the enemies are, if they just can't hit you, then it just doesn't matter. At that point, your biggest enemy isn't the bugs, but fall damage. Oh, yeah, and he has a grenade that can slow enemies down, and a flare gun that can light up an entire room. So far, this has all sounded pretty straightforward, But what I've yet to mention is that each character has 2 more unlockable primaries, 2 more unlockable secondaries, 3 more unlockables for the grenade spot, and not only that, each gun and support item has about a dozen upgrades you can choose from. I'll show you the scout for an example. He has the before mentioned assault rifle and shotgun, but then he also has a rifle and a plasma rifle as primaries, and dual SMGs and a crossbow as secondaries, a grenade that freezes bugs, a grenade that makes bugs attack each other, and a boomerang that stuns enemies and can come back to you. With each gun being upgradable, you have a lot of options. And we're still not done because there are these empty boxes for the perk system we need to talk about. There are this webs of perks you can get, ranging from passive perks that just do that thing in the background like thorns, which like in Minecraft, when you're hit by a melee attack, the attacker also gets hurt. Or active perks that require a button press to actually use, like Field Mag that allows you to instantly get a teammate up once per mission. These are both perks you can get in the first stage of the perk system, and if you look to the side, there are 4 arrows right next to it. So after you get 4 perks, you can unlock the next box, which both has new perks and second level perks for some of the one in the first stage. And as you go on, they get more and more expensive, but you buy these perks using perk points. Now, how do you get perk points? You may be asking yourself from the comfort of your own home while procrastinating whatever chore it is you need to do at the current moment. That's such a good question. You go. Here's a lollipop. Anyway, you get perk points from milestones. Milestones are anything from purchasing 50 weapon upgrades to completing 30 missions, which I feel like now would be the perfect time to talk about the missions. But real quickly, when you go to the map to actually select the mission, you will see it's separated into 10 different zones, each zone having a different effect and ores in it, like Glacial Strata, which is the obligatory ice level that I hate, being rich with Magnite and scarce in Umnite, or Literal Hell, or as the game calls it, the Magma Core, that has bombs all over the ground that explode if shot. Now I won't go into every zone here, but each one is unique in its own right. Now each zone actually has a different number of missions it can actually have in it, and what kind of missions they are and which zones are available at any time is random and changes every 30 minutes. Now, finally, at last, we can talk about the missions themselves. There are 9 different mission types, each of which different from the last. Mining Expedition is the simplest, just mine X amount of Morkite. Egg Hunt, you wander through caves finding the organic masses to get the eggs out of. On-site Refinery, locate 3 wells to summon a refinery, then connect them to the main refinery rig, and repair them as bugs attack until the bar is full. Salvage Operation, search for these mini walking robot looking things called mules throughout the caves and repair them. Point Extraction, locate and mine deposits of these blue crystal. Deep Scan, this is the newest mission in the game introduced in Season 5. You use this bar to locate the resonant crystals, and then you call down a resonant scanner to connect them to. After finding 2 or 3 or even 5 of them, board the drill elevator and go down and collect these Morkite seeds. Escort Duty, you protect the giant machine called the Drill Dozer. It will stop for you to collect fuel every once in a while, and then when you reach the end, it will start drilling into this giant sphere, while you kill waves upon waves of enemies and repair as needed until you get to Hearthstone and leave. Elimination, very simple. Find Cocoon, shoot Cocoon, kill boss inside, rinse, repeat, and leave. Now finally, the last and my personal favorite mission, Industrial Sabotage. You take down these power stations so you can lower the volt shields, and then you defeat the caretaker boss and retrieve the data pack inside. That is the absolute most bare bones I could go into about this game. I didn't even go into second objectives, the season terminal, the forge, deep dives, promotions. There's so much more I could talk about regarding this game, and I would love to, so just let me know down below. I was wondering why I hadn't heard about this game sooner, because it wasn't until my friend introduced me to it 2 months ago that I started playing, and since then, it's my main game I've played. And I was sitting at my desk, writing the script, gathering footage, when it finally clicked in my brain. It's because even though it's super fun, it doesn't make amazing content. Because YouTube, at the end of the day, is a content-based platform. It wants you to make content that will keep people engaged. And so games like Content Warning, which create a bunch of funny moments that keep the viewers laughing, keeps the viewer engaged, those really help. But a game like Deep Rock Galactic, which is fun to play, isn't always fun to watch. And I know that some of you watching this are disagreeing because you watch Deep Rock Galactic content all the time. And I also watch Deep Rock Galactic content, but I find my favorite ones are ones talking about the game and less actually playing the game itself. And videos where you're talking about a video game take longer to make than just playing it. And so there's a lot less of that. I guess what I'm trying to say is just because a video game isn't a top game on YouTube or Twitch doesn't mean that it isn't worth playing. Deep Rock Galactic is now easily in my top 5 favorite games. And that's just because I heard it from a friend. And I plan on using this to almost better myself, to try to find games that even if they aren't super relevant on YouTube, to play them anyway, because you never know when you might find another one like this. Rock and Stone Miners.